ready to start.
Hello everybody, welcome to another true review. Today I'm bringing you Tacoma on the Xbox One, which is available right now and is priced at $14.99 in the UK and $19.99 in US and EU regions. Now Tacoma is the latest walking simulator from Fulbright, who had the massive hit with Gone Home, which a lot of people may have heard of. Now you play the role as Amy Ferrier, who is an employee of Venturis Technology, who's been sent to recover the AI data from the space station Tacoma. Now when you first arrive, things aren't very clear of what's actually happened, but the more you explore, pick up logs and documents, the more you uncover about the crew's fate, and it becomes much clearer what's actually happened on the station. And when you first arrive at Tacoma, you are in a zero gravity area, which forms the game's main hub, which you will visit a number of times as you progress from the game's area to area. Now the game's locked off by several bulkhead doors, with only one being available to begin with. Now these doors actually open up in sequence, which sadly means the game's as linear as they come, as there's no scope to veer from the path that the game sets out for you to play. Now like Gone Home, there's plenty of material to actually read through. Sometimes you'll pick up a letter that one of the crew's written, or maybe an electronic note on one of their workstations, but the main source of information comes from the augmented reality recordings you discover in various areas of the Tacoma station. Now these augmented reality sections are really what sets this game apart from most of its contemporaries, as the crew, despite only appearing to Amy as faceless, transparent, neon-coloured figures, do have brilliant personalities. Even though you can't really make out the facial features of each of the characters, the animation is superb, and the voice acting of these characters is absolutely amazing. It's probably some of the best voice acting I've actually come across in a title that's, you know, not AAA rated.
We don't even know if we're getting renewed yet.
We're getting renewed.
Okay, so if you're so sure, maybe we should just do our jobs then? We'll get renewed again next year?
God, next year? Nah, I'm gonna quit.
Stop.
What? They don't even give me access to the system I'm supposed to be maintaining. I mean, are you kidding me?
Well, do you really need direct access to Odin?
It's the principle of the thing. I mean, what if they were like, hey Bert, your job's mechanical engineer, but, you know, don't touch anything under the hood?
Well, I'd still be pulling a paycheck for one thing.
Come on, you're a good engineer. You're totally gonna waste up here.
Well, didn't you say Evie was going to talk to corporate about giving you more access?
Yeah, but it never went anywhere. Hey, that's a good point, actually.
What?
Evie, can you get back to cargo?
On my way. What are you doing?
Yeah, this'll work. Matt.
What is it?
Hey, remember when we talked about how I needed access to Odin's direct interface?
Uh-huh.
So how about this? Tell VT if they don't grant access to Odin, they're gonna have to find themselves a new network specialist.
Any questions?
Now at first these recordings don't seem to be anything more than just bog standard audio logs, but your ability to actually track an individual through these augmented reality sections really makes these stand out, because whilst a crew member may break away from the main conversation, you can actually follow that individual and see what they get up to during the course of the augmented reality conversation. Now I've not really seen this done in games before, and it probably is the game's biggest success. Whilst the AI logs only run for a few minutes at a time, they work like the very video that you're watching now, with your ability to pause and scroll backwards and forwards, so you've no fear of actually missing anything. The amount of actual minor detail that I'd actually put into these is probably Fulbright's strongest skill when they make these walking simulators, as the developers, for example, put such details in as a couple holding hands and they quickly let go when a crewmate enters, which further goes to make these crew members feel real and like they're real living beings in this environment. Which then makes the biggest issue I have with the game all that more surprising, because the actual main story is just so bland and predictable. You would think it's been written by a completely entirely different team than the one for the characters. Now whilst they did avoid the most cliched plots, with that being a rogue AI, what they do offer up is a major disappointment, and all too brief. Now graphically the game's as solid as they come, while nothing's really spectacular. One of Fulbright's strong points is creating believable environments that look like a working and real lived in habitat. The animation of the crew, as I mentioned before, is a standout, with their neon coloured silhouettes exuding more personality than most characters in other games that I've actually come across. And equally, the soundtrack is just the same vein, really. Whilst there's no real standout actual musical tracks, the voice acting and the delivery of the lines is nigh on perfect. They're just so real. They've done a fantastic job. So it's a crying shame that the amount of attention given to bringing the crew to life wasn't actually transferred to the main story, which is underwhelming, predictable and very dull. I mean, I don't want to get into the story as such, because it basically would eliminate the point of playing this game in its entirety, but the game's linear approach also doesn't help it, doesn't do it any favours. It means that there's very little replay value when you consider as well that the game only takes about 2 to 3 hours to actually progress through to the game's conclusion. And for the asking price, it's a little bit galling, to be honest with you. So for me, Tacoma, I'm only going to score a 2 out of 5, other than for easy achievements and experiencing the excellent voice work and characterization brought on by the voice actors. In terms of the crew, it's just not worth picking up at the moment, and I can only really recommend this when it's on a very deep sale. So I hope you enjoyed that review, guys. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe and share the video, and I'll catch you in the next review. Thanks for watching.
One more year, then we'll